First Snow, Part 8, a Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction. If you have not heard the previous 7 parts of this story, you can find a link to them in the description box below. Cat Noir was glad that his suit was made with magic, otherwise the entire world would know that he was sweating bullets with armpit sweat spreading out like a tourist lost in Texas. However, unlike the rainforest growing underneath his arms, the hand that held Marinette's was dry and clammy. He knew she wouldn't be able to tell, especially because their fingers weren't interlaced, but it still made him more self-conscious than he'd like to be.
I suppose I should be counting my blessings,
he thought. He had held his breath when Marinette left for the bathroom, worried that she might leave altogether, but it seemed that she had calmed down.
She probably knows that this is a date by now, right? I mean, we had dinner, I'm holding her hand, and we're about to go to the... No. Wait. She doesn't know we're going shopping. Will she even accept what I buy for her? What if I didn't bring enough cash? I can't let her see me using my debit card. She would see my name. Not that it would be a bad thing. Unless if she doesn't care for Adrian. But she got a drink with him, so she doesn't hate my civilian self. Right? And she keeps bringing him up, so she wants to see him. Right?
He sighed as doubts circled his mind and felt a light squeeze. He looked down to see Marinette frowning at him. "What's wrong, kitty?" she asked, wearing a look of concern.
It's nothing important. Thanks, princess,
he smiled, bringing himself back into the moment. His worries would have to wait. For now, he was on a date with the girl of his dreams. "So where are we going?"
I think you'll like it, he grinned, waving down a taxi.
"Cat!" Marinette exclaimed.
What?
"Taxis are expensive. Let's just walk." He smiled to himself, finding the situational irony funny. She didn't realize that he had just spent 300 euros on her meal and was about to spend 1,000 more. He'd be willing to spend 10,000 euros on her if she would only spend her time with him. The cost of a taxi ride or two was nothing compared to how much he had budgeted for the night.
I insist. You'll be grateful for it soon.
But...
No buts. Let me spoil you.
I don't feel comfortable, but if you insist, she sighed, then okay. He helped her into the car and told the driver their destination. 10 minutes of suddenly awkward silence later, they were at a little boutique downtown.
Why aren't we talking? He thought to himself. Was it something I did? Did she hate the taxi? Should I have called it quits at dinner? Dropped her off and said good night?
"Oh, I saw this place in a magazine," Marinette exclaimed, looking at the store through the taxi window.
You have?
"Yeah, it's one of the few places they carry Monique Luhier dresses," she said, walking up to the display and looking at a dress longingly.
Do you like that one?
"The dress?"
Yeah.
"It looks like something a modern-day princess would wear. Not that I'd ever have a reason to wear it."
I think you'd look nice in it.
He swallowed as she looked up at him, realizing he was standing a little too close. She hadn't seemed to notice, but the lack of distance was a little too much for him. Despite this, he took her by the hand and led her inside. "Cat, what are you—"
Hey, I'd like the dress in the window on this girl, please.
"The Chi-Chi London?" "Of course," the attendant said, obviously a bit surprised at the hero's sudden appearance, but nonetheless staying professional, unlike her younger co-worker, whose jaw dropped to the floor. Before Marinette could protest, she was in a dressing room with 2 ladies helping her get undressed as Cat Noir looked around the store.
Do you have a hairstylist on staff? He asked. Makeup as well.
"Oh, No, sir, the younger assistant said.
I see,
he sighed, walking over to the shoe display to pick out a pair. But I could do it, if you'd like.
You could?
Yes. I'm currently in beauty school, you see, and a picture of me touching up Cat Noir's date on Instagram would really boost my status. So, if you don't mind, her voice trailed off, obviously nervous at her self-advertising.
Wonderful,
he began, turning away from the shoe rack when a pair caught his eyes.
These...
The Eden heels? They're lovely, aren't they? Far out of my price range, but I just adore the ladybugs on them.
I'll take them in her size.
Are you sure, sir? They're almost 3,000 euros.
No problem. Ring them up and go grab your beauty supplies.
He was already smiling at the idea of Marinette wearing them. She would love the shoes. I'll take them in the dressing room with me. So you can see the completed look all at once. Please wait here, sir. It'll take about half an hour.
No problem. I'll see you then.
He sat down in one of the chairs and closed his eyes, feeling a small amount of anxiety drain out of him. This was working. It was going well. She would like it. They would go to the jazz club, dance a little, that he would tell her who he is. He would tell her he's Adrian Agreste. The thought rekindled the pit living in his stomach. Had he ever been so nervous before? She was friends with both sides of him, so she'd be okay with it, right? The fact that he's both sides of the same coin, that is. He heard the door of the dressing room open and looked up, his breath escaping him.
She's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen,
he thought. And in a few hours, other men would let him know that they thought so as well. Thank you so much for listening. This was a Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction. Part 9 will be coming out shortly. In the meantime, you can check out a video below for more fanfiction. I'll catch you next time.